Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com. I did it again. I did a video. I did the wrong thing. It was a great read, and I'm not inclined to redo the read because when I do a read, that's the read, So it's getting to be a problem with me. I have to get some technical support here soon. At any rate, I laid cards. Now, I also took notes because some of you complain that I don't get to the point quick enough and I ramble on, which is true. So I took some notes to guide me into the read. We need to talk about him again. You know who. I did a reading not too long ago, one or two about him, but for the past couple of weeks I've been avoiding him. Not because I haven't been paying attention to what's going on, but because my brain needed a break, and I think you guys needed a break. You probably don't always want to come here and see about him. So, but I think we're getting to a critical point, He's militarizing blue cities, cases in point, Los Angeles and DC. Simultaneously, there's attack on women's rights, which may be why we're seeing so many feminine cards pop up, as a wake-up call to us, like women, take note, maybe we keep thinking that the card means, a woman will save the day. But really, maybe it means the collective of womanhood will save the day, or that we need to step up because we have the most to lose. So there's that. We need to stand up and be counted. The stakes are highest for us, even though that we're a majority in the world. We don't seem to have our thumbs on them the way they do. They seem to have them on us, especially in this country. Who has announced that he's going to Russia on Friday. Where in reality, he's going to Alaska. Okay, he can make a faux pas. He's elderly. I make a lot of faux pas. That's why I'm redoing this video, because I pushed the wrong button. But I'm also not the president of the United States. I'm a tarot reader on YouTube, right? Now, he's unraveling at an alarming pace, Ostensibly, he's meeting, the other who from Russia in Alaska to end the war. It's a meeting to end the war with Ukraine. Whether or not President Zelensky will be there, I don't know. But those two will be there. And they think that, they're the ones who could decide when the war ends and the terms which will be taking place, to make that happen. Now, I laid the cards, and it was a great read. Like I said, I made a mistake. So it's happened a couple times in recent weeks. So I do need more technical skills to prevent stuff like that from happening. But at any rate, I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to let you see the cards, and I'll go through them one by one as though I'm laying them. But in reality, this is the way it presented itself in the other video. Okay, so the first card was the Knight of Swords. Now here we have somebody who has tunnel vision, right? He's a young man. He's on a mission. He's fierce. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's got clear vision, tunnel vision. He's not distracted. Now, who could this be? Could this be President Zelensky? I mean, after all, it's his country that's at stake. Whether or not he'll be at the meeting, I don't know. Could this be the younger of the two dictators? I mean, certainly he's got vision. He's got vision for world dominance. They both do. They both want world dominance. I'm talking about the two dictators. So here we have a card representing the world, which is ballerina feet. Now, the book suggests ballerina feet, could represent being in step, in tune with things, and then you have the whole world, But could it be a tap dance? We could see it in a different way. Just because a book says it means one thing doesn't mean that it's not something else, or that it couldn't be seen in a different context. Then we have the Ace of Coins, or the Ace of Pentacles, excuse me. We have the Magician card, right? We have front and center of the core 9, we have a battle, 5 swords. something that's not agreeable, confusion, but of an aggressive sort. Then we have the King of Swords. Underneath the Magician card, take note that we have the Moon diagonally across from another disc, which is the Ace of Pentacles. But we have deception, trickery. Here we have 10 coins, or 10 pentacles. Please forgive me if I say coins. I think of this as coins, okay? But this is like a legacy, what you've accomplished in your life. Clearly, they both want world domination, right? They want world domination. And they'll do it no matter what they have to do. Mr. Zelensky just wants what's his and his country's, right? They want their own land. But these other two, they want world domination. We have the Ace of Swords underneath the King of Swords. So we have a desire to conquer. And we have two aces. Now, the Quint cards, I think, are interesting. The top row, we have the Fool card. And the first thing I thought when I laid the Fool card was Seward's folly. He said he was going to Russia when in reality he's going to Alaska. So in his brain, he's confused. But could there be something about Alaska? I mean, could that be on the table? I don't know. Probably not. Here we have the Lover card, and it's not a friendly arrangement because we don't see any cards from the Suit of Cups. There's no heartfelt union here. This is an unholy alliance here. We got the Snake. Then we have the Chariot. Now, the one thing, I think I mentioned it. I don't know if I mentioned it in this video or the one that I did already. But typically the Chariot, we get the faces of the horse, of course, but we get the face of the charioteer. But here it's focused on the opposing direction, or these two. We don't know if they're going in opposite directions, but we can surmise as much. So we have an unholy alliance between two energies that want to go in a different direction. And what's the final outcome card? Well, it's death. The end of something. The end of what? An abrupt halt. I mean, when death comes, it's quick. Well, it can linger. But the effects are irreversible. So we have an unholy alliance of aggression, trickery, deception, for world dominance, going in two separate directions. Is this about bringing the end of the war to Ukraine, or is this about something different? I guess we could see it as, yes, it's about bringing the end to the war in Ukraine. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is, but it seems that there's something going on in the background that has more to do with them. And I can't help but think of Seward's folly. I can't help but think that there's a reason behind his faux pas for calling Alaska Russia. I can't help but think that there's more to their meeting than ending the war with Ukraine. If so, and if that is what happens, then could this guy be Mr. President Zelensky? Maybe he's got some tricks up his own sleeve. If we see that as him, maybe he has tricks up his own sleeve. Now, he's not interested in world dominance, as I mentioned here. He just wants what's theirs, his country's, right? This I see more as another agenda for world dominance and, for the other two. But perhaps President Zelensky, who is the younger, maybe he becomes the king. Maybe he becomes the victor. Maybe he breaks the unholy alliance between them. Maybe he beats them at their own game. Now, I don't know if that's what's going to happen on Friday at this meeting, but that might be the outcome. Maybe he beats them at their own game. But the stakes are really high. And it's not so much about Ukraine as it is about their two agendas for world dominance and their unholy alliance. And we see their dual, agendas. But something's going to come to an end. Something's coming to an end. I'd love to know what you guys think. Until next time, friends, peace, stay well, be brave, and be kind.